Okay, this is going to be a quick introduction to just using WordPress and navigating the back end of your website. So after you've gone in and created a free account, there's some customization that you can go through that I'm going to show you now. So this is just an example site. There's a lot of things that could be better about this, but I kind of just wanted to show you some of the ins and outs of the site. So once you've created your site, you're going to choose a template for it. And depending on that template is going to kind of determine a lot of the options you have, sort of like your colors, your typefaces, things like that. When you're in the general kind of editing mode, you're gonna see that you have the ability to look at it as if it were on a desktop, which is what we're on right now, a tablet or a phone. You can also click into these different areas and be able to kind of like, see where the links go and stuff like that. So some other places that are going to be important is you have this menu up here on the left, and that's going to be the main place where you're going to go to make edits. So you're going to see this pages, which is going to kind of allow you to put the content on each one of your pages. You're going to see this portfolio option. You're going to see media, so any pictures or images that you might want to upload, that's the place where you're going to kind of want to manage those things. You can create folders, you can upload images, documents, and then you're also going to see this My Home, which you'll see over here. There are these quick links that are going to also help you to edit your page. So you can see here I can customize the theme. It's taking a little bit of time to load. So when you go into the customization of your theme, again, yours might look a little bit different than mine depending on what theme you actually choose. But these are going to be things that you're going to want to know where to get to. So everybody's going to have this homepage settings here. And most of the time when you're creating a website in WordPress initially, it's going to be set up like a blog post page. That means that basically you just kind of scroll from top to bottom. You don't necessarily have different pages that are separate from one another. You basically just scroll and it's one single kind of visual, which that's a little bit easier to make. So for this project, I want you guys to actually create a static homepage, which means that you'll have separate pages that will require a menu to kind of navigate through. So this homepage settings is where you would set that up. You'll see that it'll say your homepage displays a static page or your latest post. You're going to choose a static page. Before you're able to actually do this, you have to create your page that you want to be the home page. So if you remember a little bit ago, so I'm going to just close out this customizer menu. I'm going to go down here to where it says pages. And here you can see that my Gibbs page, and that is the home page. So I can click in there. I can make all sorts of changes, but you have to create that page first in order to make it the home page. So without creating your actual pages, it's difficult to set up the navigation for those pages. And here we go again with the waiting. This is my internet for whatever reason. It's been slow the last couple of days. Okay, so you can see over here that I created this image in Photoshop. It's basically an image of this guy with a gradient map on top of him and a colored background. So you can see that default template, discussions, excerpt, anything that I need to make changes to are going to be here. So I can go to this edit. You can see that I can kind of change the style. Ooh, I like this bottom wave. We'll put that in there. Or actually I could do the top wave. Repeated background, fixed background. There's all sorts of options here. when it comes to this imagery. I can actually change this gradient to make it something totally different. That might be a little bit too much. Maybe not. Now you can see the job that I did in Photoshop, like this isn't very good. The edges could definitely be masked a little bit better, especially his hair. I think I was just kind of quickly showing it. The image that I did save is a PNG or an EPS in order to get that transparent background. So anytime you mask something in Photoshop, you can bring it onto a website. You just have to make sure that you save it as the correct file type. And then so once I kind of have this page the way that I want it to, I'm going to just say update up here. Now this is still set as my home page, but let's say that it wasn't. Let's say I just created this page. Then I would go back to this W right here. I would go back to where it says view pages, which is going to kind of take me back. I'm going to go back to my home. And then on the right here, I'm going to go down to where it says customize theme, which is going to take me into that customizer setting, and it's going to allow me to make more specific adjustments to things like the font. But that's also where I find that homepage setting, and I'm going to set it to Gibbs, which is already what it's set to. But now you can see that that wave thing is in place. The colors don't look right, and I'm not sure if that's because of the background color or what. So that might take some playing around with. You can see here is the header image, which I did this kind of mountain range. And again, I got rid of some of the background in there so that it would be transparent. There are all sorts of things that I could do. I did this in Illustrator, again, creating a transparency, which means that it's a PNG. You'll notice that up here, if you're trying to do something like this in a banner, it actually tells you the size. So up here it says it's 1248 by 240. So in Illustrator, Photoshop, whatever program you want to use, you can create a document that's that size, and then you know that it's going to fit like perfectly in that space. And you don't have to worry about it being the wrong size or something like that. Okay. Here are the fonts, again, depending on like what template you choose is going to determine like what different fonts you have. So some templates have a lot more options as far as typefaces go, and other ones don't. So it's just a matter of like which one of these you choose. And you can see that as I change them, it's changing all of the headings in my thing. Here's my menu. There's lots of different ways that can go. So it can be a social menu, which is going to usually put it up like a little square on the top right or left that you can click on. It'll kind of drop down. I also add the pages that I want to be a part of the menu. And again, you have to have the pages created before you can put them into the menu. So this is really important. The other thing, I'm actually not going to do this change because it's taking too long, but the other thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that you are saving your changes, and then also making sure that you're publishing your site. Because if you don't publish your site, then you're going to, when you go to turn it in and I go to look at your site, it's not going to have the content. It's going to just say like waiting or whatever. So here you can also get to appearance, customize. That's going to take you to that customizer again. So that's a menu option that's there as well. So the project that we're doing, the requirements are that I want to see you creating your own imagery. So again, the topic can be kind of whatever things that you feel you want to make your website about. So it can either be about the magazine design, or it can be about something personal, maybe your band or some personal project. But you'll notice here, like I have these menu items and stuff like that. I don't want to see any of the default or template options like in the website. So if you are, if there's an area of the website in the template that you're not going to use, just make sure that you get rid of it, that you're not like having these default text and stuff like that. And that you're kind of really exploring every avenue. Again, this one is cut out a little bit better than the last one. There's still some stuff down here that I could clean up with the masking. So these are just examples to show you like how to pull your work into the web design. If you have any more questions, you can more than happy to reach out to me. WordPress has a lot of great kind of like helpful options when it comes to, you know, figuring out and, you know, troubleshooting. So if you do have questions on how to do something specific, that's probably going to be the best place to kind of like look first. I am looking for you to use Illustrator and Photoshop to then create the imagery for your website. But I'm also looking for certain things like creating the static homepage, creating a menu, creating some sort of gallery. And I'd like it all to stay consistent. So think about your colors, your typefaces, what your image style is, and keeping that all consistent. Okay, hopefully this is helpful. And if you have